All right, I got 2 envelopes here, and I think this is probably breaking every YouTube story rule, but I'll tell you right now that we did end up getting our money, and no, I'm not going to file a complaint, but let me tell you the backstory of what happened with the transaction. So we had a closing on August 1st, first of the month. Great to have a closing, start the month off strong. This closing was performed by an agent of mine. Now, he's an experienced agent, but it was his first closing at my agency. And when he was at the closing, and by the way, this might sound weird to some of you folks from other parts of the country, but here in Massachusetts, attorneys have a monopoly on real estate closings in Massachusetts. In order to close a transaction in Massachusetts, you must be an attorney. We don't have traditional title companies like they do in most other parts of the country. And some of these attorneys' offices are giant law firms that specialize in it, and some of them are small little like one-person law firms that don't even have any staff. So everything in between, as long as you're an attorney, you can close a real estate transaction. So it was definitely on the smaller side of the law firm spectrum. And on August 1st, the transaction closed. Everything went great. My agent was at the closing. Nice job for being there, as he should be. And he said, at everything closed, he was like, by the way, do you have our fee? And the attorney was like, that's all taken care of. And so being his first transaction at my agency, he was deferential to the attorney. And he was like, okay, Jack probably just wants the check mailed to the office. And so he didn't physically pick up the check. And so that was on a Thursday. A couple of days later, I spoke to him and I said, did you pick up the check? And he's like, no, the attorney said it was all taken care of. And I said, great, it's probably in the mail. That's where this story starts. So a couple of days went by, a week went by, and the check hadn't arrived. And it was being mailed from just north of Boston to Plymouth. So it's really not that far in eastern Massachusetts. And a week went by, no check. So I sent an email. We sent a couple of emails, and we called the other brokerage to see if they got paid. And what do you know? They did not get paid. And they admitted that it could be some type of like snafu with their mailing address. So I was like, okay, maybe that's just a coincidence. I should remember I've watched a lot of crime dramas, right? Law and Order, there are no coincidences. Lenny Briscoe, something like that. So, Chris, no, I don't know. Mikey Logan, there are no coincidences. So they didn't get paid either. So I finally get the attorney on the phone. This is like Friday now, so it's been 8 days. And he's like, yeah, no, we sent it out. I don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, it'll probably show up Saturday. And this thing will probably solve itself, no problem. And we'll get back to you. I'm sure it'll probably show up any day now. Probably show up Saturday. So went to the mailbox Saturday, nothing. And now I'm pissed off because I want to pay my agent. I can't pay him until I get the money. And there's no check in the post office box on that Saturday. And our mailing address is prominently featured on our invoice. There's no doubt about where to send this thing to. So I was like, I'm not going to blow my top. It's a weekend. We'll wait. I go Monday, and the check is there. So good that I didn't get upset, right? Jack kept his Irish temper in check. And then I mentioned this to my agent, and I said, hey, the check arrived. And my agent wrote back something like, he never mailed it on the 2nd, which would have been Friday the 2nd when he said he mailed it. He probably just mailed it Friday after we called him out. And I was like, you know what? There's an easy way to find that out. Just look at the postmark. Just look at the postmark and it will tell you the truth. And the fact of the matter is the letter was postmarked August 9th. So the attorney never mailed it August 2nd. He didn't mail it August 2nd. He mailed it only after we emailed and called him. So you got to ask yourself, is this just simply a case of, hey, he forgot something, no big deal, people forget things, it could be one of those, just fell through the cracks, except for the fact that he insisted he mailed it on the 2nd and the post office lost it. That doesn't seem like it's plausible. So I sent back an email just kind of calling him out a little bit, and I said, by the way, the postmark on this letter is Friday the 9th, not Friday the 2nd. And he wrote back, he had like an immediate response, and he wrote back saying something, well, I recut the check, and I sent it out again. Oh, really? So eventually I should get a letter in a couple of days or 2 or 3 days or even 3 weeks from now. Eventually I should get the original check, right? Because the post office should still be sending that to me. I'm not going to get the original check because he never mailed it. So could there be something more nefarious going on where he's doing something illegal with his, what we call here in Massachusetts, an escrow account, but what most of you call a trust account? Could there be the fact that maybe at the day of closing, August 1st or August 2nd, maybe he didn't have the money to send us? Maybe something bad is going on there? That's possible. Do I have any evidence of that? No. Am I going to mention this attorney's name on this video? No. Because there's no evidence of that. But there's a bad feeling. There's a suspicion. Would I ever refer this attorney to a client of mine? Hell no. If I ever do another transaction and he's involved, am I going to watch it like a hawk? Yes. Yes, I am. The way I look at it, I move money by check all the time. I know the big pay, the deposit online is a big deal now. I'm not a big fan. And when I send out a check, for instance, I now have a paycheck to send my agent. I'm actually going to bring this to the post office and I'm taking a picture. And I do this all the time. My agents will tell you. And I even do it when I send money to other agencies, which we won't be doing anymore under the new rules. But when I pay my agents, I take a picture of the check literally going in the mailbox, and therefore they really know that I mailed it. And I know I mailed it just in case absentmindedly I forget it, and I text that picture over. So, I'm paying Amy the agent. I'm going to take a picture of her paycheck as it literally goes in the mailbox. So no one ever has to believe from me that the check is in the mail, because literally they saw the picture of the check going in the mail with their name and address on the envelope as it goes in the mailbox. And I just feel so much more transparent about that and honest about it. And if heaven forbid the post office loses it, which is an incredible rarity, there is some good faith evidence that I actually did send it, right? That there's a picture of an envelope going in a mailbox. There's good faith that I actually sent it. That has never happened to me. I don't think a check that I've sent out has ever been lost by the post office. And I don't believe that this attorney mailed our check on August 2nd. I don't think he mailed it until August 9th when we called him out. So there's nothing really there to complain about because we did get the money and everything seems to be okay. But yeah, you're on my radar. I'll be watching and hoping that we don't do business with you again, and certainly not going to ever refer a client to you. All right. I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.